Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Mascoutah High School as we get set for the first Mascoutah Indians basketball game of the year at home, as we welcome you to an MVC Mega Night as the Mascoutah Indians take on the Highland Bulldogs. We got girls basketball up first. What is sure to be a fun night here in Mascoutah. Owen Ressler alongside Hudson Huber with you tonight for a girls team that has struggled in their first 7 games of the regular season. Only 2 wins in those first 7 games under the brand new head coach of the girls, Adea Moore, as the girls look to pick up their victory at home here tonight. A couple of injuries to talk about the girls. Many people who have followed the girls don't know Avery Bame. She is out for an extended period of time. She broke her hand in the first game of the regular season. In the second game, that is, of the regular season, she is out for an extended period of time. And then just a couple of games ago, freshman Harper Whitworth, who has really been the heart and soul of this team, averaging 11.6 points per game, went down with a dislocated finger. She is out for 2 weeks. And so right now the Indians, with a small roster to begin the year already, are already more short-sighted than they were before. And Hudson, this is a team that has struggled a lot. They've got to find a way to get it back on track coming into this one tonight on the home floor.
Yes, having the home floor advantage is definitely something that the girls should look forward to tonight. They should definitely benefit from having that advantage. Now, you mentioned the injuries. I've had the privilege of working with some of these girls in their practices, and I can tell you they're working very hard. But having the shortened roster, as you mentioned, is a big factor in this game. They don't generate enough points on offense to overturn the points they give on defense. Their defense has struggled a lot, their offense has struggled a lot, and now having your top scorer out, it's just going to make it even harder. So what I'm interested to see, Owen, is how are they going to generate their points on offense with their 2 star players out, notably their 2 tallest players on the team, when we see a very tall Highland team right in front of us to combat in what's going to happen in the paint. It's going to be interesting to see tonight, Owen.
Yeah, you mentioned the tall Highland team in the paint, and well, that's what one thing where Avery Bame being out hurt so much is she is your girl in the paint, and right now the Indians do not have that presence. This is an Indians team that is being outscored by they're only being outscored by 3 points per game. They've allowed 44.4 points per game, 41.4 they are scoring. The problem is, when they've scored a lot. When they haven't scored, they just haven't scored. And the same can be said for their opponents. So it is not. They have not played close games. They've either blown their 2 wins have been blowouts, and 3 out of their 5 losses have been by 10 or more points. So it has certainly been a tough sled to go. And I want to just highlight one thing real quick for those folks watching at home. Our huddle camera is a little glitchy right now. That hopefully should improve as we move about tonight, but I just want to make that known that we hopefully that'll improve. We expect it will, so just bear with us with technology here tonight. The Indians coming into this game, one thing, the obvious, the elephant in the room, we haven't had a girls game to talk about this one yet. The Indians are with a new head coach Adea Moore, who joins the Indians after a tenure of coaching by Frank Evans. Coach Evans retired at the end of last year. After several good years, the Indians did have a down year last year. He retired. The Indians now find themselves under the leadership of Coach Moore. And Coach Moore overhauled the coaching staff coming in to this year. We'll talk about that in a minute. Moore played Division I basketball, most notably for the University of Cincinnati. And she has been a basketball lifer her entire life. mentioning that overhauled coaching staff, 2 MHS coaches in other areas, Coach Megan Winstraw and Aaron Hilgendorf both joining the coaching staff. April Youngewalter as well, a part of this new coaching staff for the Indians. So the Indians very much improving upon their coaching staff. And it has been kind of fun to see some of the familiar faces that have been around Mascoutah for a while now involved in other rounds with girls basketball. Coach Hilgendorf, Coach Winstraw, both big-time Mascoutah staff members. Well, we also talked about Highland coming into this game. Highland comes into this game with a record of 3-4 under head coach Clint Hamilton, and they are led onto the floor by the junior Peyton Burchell. Comes into this game wearing jersey number 3, and she has a 14.4 points per game. She has been the dominant force when it comes to scoring. She's also their leading rebounder, averaging 4.5 per game, and she has been easily their top performer on offense this year. Again, jersey number 3, the junior Jordan Bircher. We'll see how the Indians want to defend her as they move along in this game. Certainly a question as we get going. 7 minutes until we tip things off tonight. We just had the captains meetings, and we are looking forward to tip-off here on the Mascoutah Indian Sports Network. It's the Indians and the Bulldogs. Tip-off 6 minutes away. We'll be back in a moment on the pregame.
New to Mascoutah but open since 1972, Joe's Pizza has plenty to offer. No matter what you're in the mood for, Joe's Pizza has a variety of options for you. Check out their handmade pizzas, pastas, subs, salads, and wings located at 215 East Main in Mascoutah. Along with their delicious food, Joe's has friendly workers, a clean and safe environment, and fast and efficient service. Don't just take our word for it, look at many reviews left by members of our own community. Available for delivery or carryout. Joe's Pizza, where every bite feels like home.
Back here inside the Mascoutah High School gym as the Indians and the Bulldogs get set for some MVC basketball tonight. It's a mega night, boys and girls. We've got the girls up first. Coming up as we approach tip-off here in Mascoutah. First home game of the year, always an exciting one. And these girls are looking, their first broadcast of the year for us. The girls have played a couple of games at home, unfortunately, due to schedules and things. We haven't been able to cover those games, unfortunately. But we got this one tonight. It's the first home game for the boys. That's why that's in my head, as I keep saying first home game. It's my first game doing this year, and it's the first home game for the boys. So bear with me. I'm still getting, it's been a couple of weeks since I've actually hit the airwaves. Of course, our last game hitting the airwaves was, of course, that thriller of a volleyball game in Effingham a couple of weeks ago. Unfortunately, our girls did go home. Coming into this one, Mascoutah and Highland. Big rivalry here this week. The Indians come into this game averaging 41.4 points per game. Haven't been all that terrible. They've actually, offensively, the numbers aren't great, but in terms of points put up, it has not been that much of a factor. 41 points per game, not spectacular, but I think if you're looking at the numbers, you can't hate it. However, one thing that they have struggled with has been shooting from deep. This team has attempted 61 field goal or 3-point field goals. They've only made 7. 7 for 61 when it comes to the 3-point field goals, and that's been a big thing. The girls have struggled from deep, and that is and that's an area they struggled last year as well from deep. Not quite to that margin though. But that is one thing that I'm sure this coaching staff really wants. Really wants to get fixed and taken care of as we move along here to begin the year. So moving along here on the year, I'm just over 2.5 minutes to tip off. And again, Highland, mentioned Highland, Jordan Bircher, jersey number 3, she'll be one to watch. Other players to watch, number 22, Sophie Schroeder, 8.3 points per game coming into this game. She's their second highest scorer. She is a junior. And she is a decent 3-point shooter, averaging 23% from beyond the arc. Mentioned Bircher, by the way, speaking of 3-pointers, 35.7. She can shoot beyond the 3-point line. Highland also boasts Sophia Fleming, 4 points per game. That's number 3 scorer for Highland. Jersey number 23, she is a senior. See what she can do for the Bulldogs in this one tonight. 1 minute 40 seconds until we tip things off. We're coming up close on tip-off as we are just about set to go. 90 seconds now. Indians, Bulldogs coming up. The Indians, of course, who do we got to watch? Well, I mentioned their leading scorer, Harper Whitworth. She is out. I was told earlier today, approximately 2 weeks with a dislocated finger. I can't tell you how long Avery Bain will be out. She broke her hand again in game 2 of the regular season. But, of course, you always got to watch out for Riley Fazenbaker. She was one of the better players a year ago. Jordan Fritz has played well, 6.5 points per game. So this Indians team is ready to go. They've blown the buzzer. The teams have headed to the benches. The Indians and the Bulldogs getting ready to go. Pre-game, and that does in fact conclude our pre-game, as both teams will hit the benches, and we are going to get ready for pre-game. They will drop the flag here inside of Mascoutah High School, and we will turn it over to Doug Winkler, PA announcer for the Indians. And we are just about ready to get underway as the Indians and the Bulldogs get set for their, Indians 2 and 5, Bulldogs 3 and 4. Just about ready to go. Glad to have you with us here tonight. Indians will have Avery Youngwalter out for the opening tip. She'll go up against Peyton Frey. And the opening tip belongs to the Indians. And it's brought down the corner baseline. Try Fritz. Gonna kick it out. Youngwalter turns it over. That's picked up by Sophia Fleming going back the other way. And we're going to get a 3 right off the ramp, and that one's good for Bircher. Fazenbaker up the floor here for the Indians, over to the right wing where she'll find Fritz. Fritz into traffic, throws it, gets it over to Fazenbaker. Top circle between the circles up to Grove, and she throws it away.
It looks like early on the Bulldogs are trying to trap the Indians into a pass.
Fazenbaker about top of the circle. Drives over, Upter Grove on the right wing, holding the ball. She'll take her dribble, rolling around from Etter. Gets it out for Fritz. Fritz into traffic, Upter Grove. 2-ball, got it. A deep 2 from Chichi Upter Grove. And the Indians get on the board here as now the Bulldogs back on the attack early on in this first quarter. Underneath, doesn't go. That was Sophia Fleming, and the Indians go ahead. Updergrove trying to find Fazenbaker, and she threw it away. And the Bulldogs will inbound. Frey will give it up for Bircher. Best player for the Bulldogs. Drive inside, Peyton Frey gonna give it out for Fleming. Between the circles, now goes over to the left wing, Bircher. Bircher looks inside, now gets it back. And we're gonna get a foul called here. Bulldogs out the inbound off the foul, gonna give it up. Bircher up top of the circle, goes right wing here for Sophie Schroeder from 3, doesn't go. Offensive rebound by the Bulldogs. They're gonna look inside, here's Claybucker, and the ball goes out of bounds. 6:14 to go here in the first. Ball comes in. Looking over to that left side. Now they'll give it up. 2-3 ball here. Peyton Frey off the iron, doesn't go. Fazenbaker picks up the rebound. Lost it. Bulldogs trying to press. Fazenbaker able to get it across the timeline left side. Down into the post, pivots around, finds Updergrove, throws it away. And Updergrove will get there, but it's an over and back. And Lyndon Clucker checks in for the Bulldogs here with the Bulldogs going on offense. 5:50 to go in the first. Bulldogs between the circles, sends it across for Sophie Schroeder. Inside the arc, now back out, that's Clybecker. Gives it up for Frey, looking around, goes out, finds Clucker, dishes it off Bircher. Clybecker. Down inside, Clucker, 3 on her, and we have a whistle. They're going to call that on Updergrove. Second foul of the game for the Indians. The first one belonged to Youngwalter. 3-2, haven't seen a lot of scoring. That one doesn't going to go for Bircher. Indians going to bring it back up the floor here. Faison Baker over across. Fritz going to go down the baseline. Gets it to Young Walter. Back out for Etter. Here's Faison Baker. Deep three. Buried.
Indians are moving a little bit too fast. Notably, they have the three, but moving way too fast on offense.
Over to the left wing here. Bulldogs trying to make a drive, and off the glass, no good. Ball is loose. Offensive board for Highland, and we're going to have a foul in the paint. Faison Baker called for the foul. It's on the floor, no shot. So we will get a stoppage. We'll get a stoppage. Emma Amon checks in for the Indians. Chi-Chi Updergrove goes off to the bench. 5-3 here in the first. This one gonna go. And it's good. Chloe Gould, who just checked into the game, gets that bucket.
Good defense to start off, but that's where that height really comes in, is in the paint.
Down low for Amon. Amon from the corner, well off. Young Walter though with the offensive rebound, and the pass knocked out of bounds. Stays with the Indians. It went off the hands of Schroeder. Etter inbounding. Gets it to Faison Baker. Floater. Good. Faison Baker with 5 of the first 7 for the Indians. Bulldogs down to the other end, trailing here. Burker trying to get in and throws up a nice one off the glass. But that was a nice shot in there.
That was good defense, but even better offense there from the Bulldogs.
Indians are going to take a 30-second timeout with 4:04 remaining here in the first. We'll take it right along with them. We're back in just a moment here on the Indian Sports Network.
You don't need to compromise to lift for a great price. Just go to the gym. New Energy Fitness is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Work privately or sign up for one of the many available classes. So swipe your membership card and head right on in. And with an amazing atmosphere and community, you'll feel right at home. So for great prices, equipment, and everything else, head to 602 West Main Street. Apply now at newenergyfit.com or...
Indians back as we welcome you back to the Indian Sports Network. Faison Baker going to bring it up for the Indians here. Over on the far sideline. Now swings it across left wing for Fritz, who can't get that up to the basket. The rebound goes for Sophia Fleming. Bulldogs moving ahead. Down over into the far corner. Gets it back out. Clucker beyond the arc. Finds Fleming. Now Clucker off the iron back. No good. Easy offensive rebound though for... Easy offensive rebound for Burker. And the Bulldogs leading 9-7. Now they get it back. And they throw it away.
Indians bailed out there.
Chi-Chi Updergrove checking in for the Indians. 3:10 to go here in the first. Indians coming down the floor. Amon's gonna get blocked. And then she'll get her hands in there. We're gonna have another foul. This one's gonna go to the Bulldogs.
That's when your offense is moving too fast. You just gotta slow it down, let the play develop. When you're looking for passes off your feet, you have to slow down.
Emma Amon gonna get called for that foul. That's her first of the game. They look over and a foul called there. We're gonna have a shooting foul there. See who they put that one on. That one's gonna go on Emma Amon. Second quickly for the Indians. So now have 5 fouls.
Racking those up quickly.
First free throw is good. That is Lyndon Clucker. Second one, bouncing, is not going to go. Put back though will. Clucker got in there and put it away. And the Bulldogs lead 12-7.
It's the fouls and the turnovers really killing the Indians. Only 4 or 5 minutes into this game. Something has got to change.
Indians did get the foul there. Or had the Bulldogs commit a foul. That's one. Another foul here for the Bulldogs. Jordan Fritz checks back into the game for the Indians. Indians have committed 6 fouls here in the first quarter. Here's Fritz coming down the floor, and the ball's knocked out of bounds. That one goes up. Amon gets the rebound for the Indians, throws one back up, and the rebound will go to Clucker. Whistle blown dead. Eder gonna try to inbound this ball. Looking around, finds Updergrove. Baseline drive here for Updergrove, and she will get fouled. And Updergrove gonna go to the line here. Updergrove coming into this game, 16% from the free throw line. And she misses the first one off the back of the iron.
Having all these turnovers and these really bad decisions is really killing the Indians' offense, especially Emma Amon getting down in the paint, trying to get that ball back out instead of going back up with it is something that would have probably gotten them more points there.
Indians do get the free throw, one free throw from Updergrove. Here's Burker now for the Bulldogs. Kicks it out, 3 from Fleming, buried.
Took a minute for the Bulldogs offense to really get going, but they are on fire now.
2 ball from Hazenbaker doesn't go. Ball's just gonna go out of bounds. Bulldogs will let it go. Chanel Jones will make her first appearance into the game as she comes in for Amon. Jones, the senior. First year, though, in the Indians program. Bulldogs working fast, but Jones rips it away. Going down the floor all by herself into the lane. Can't get it. Gets her own rebound. Goes back up. Draws the foul. Paige Kleibecker going to get called for that foul. Jones shooting her first free throws of the year. Misses it. Sophie Schroeder will check into the game for the Bulldogs here. And Jones' second free throw bounces off. Coming down the floor, here come the Bulldogs with a 7-point lead. They go to the corner, look inside, and that basket's good inside. Good look there for Kleibecker. Down the floor, Updergrove throws it away.
Size and weight disadvantage there, really what led to that basket. Nothing you can really do there from Updergrove. Just kind of don't foul and get easy points.
Updergrove gets it out for Etter. Etter, and now we're going to get a blocking foul as Fritz was trying to dribble. Highland with another foul. They're starting to rack their fouls up a bit. They're starting to rack up their fouls just a bit here. So Updergrove inbounding. We'll go over to Fazenbaker. Updergrove, right wing. She'll throw it out and nearly throw it away. Ball being scrambled for, and the Bulldogs will come down with it. Throws it down near side. There's Peyton Frey inside Clybecker. Fouled on the way up.
What you don't want to do is get yourself fouled out, but in that situation, you could foul it if you wanted to. If you don't have any fouls, it's a good choice because the 2 right there is free, but now you got to shoot free throws and earn it.
First free throw is good for Clybecker. And that one, no good. Indians will have the basketball after the ball first went out of bounds. And the Indians that's 5 fouls now for the Bulldogs, so that puts the Bulldogs in the bonus. Jones will miss the first free throw.
Well, it started off with the Bulldogs trying to get their points from outside of the arc, but then they realized what was working was the paint, and they just started going to Clybecker, and they're getting their points like cheap change now.
18-9 Highland with just the seconds ticking away here in the first. Looking. They'll get it out for Burker to reset the offense right wing. Swings it across. Now down to the corner. Good job by Eamon to pick up that offense. Drive inside here by Sophie Schroeder. And the ball goes out of bounds.
Called a travel there.
Fazenbaker going to bring the ball up the floor. They'll find Updergrove. Now for Eamon. Three-pointer! And she overshot it. Fritz underneath. Can't get it. Ball goes out of bounds. 3.3 seconds to go here in the first.
Seems as these Indian players, once they get down in the paint and they're all corralled there in within 5 feet of each other, just panic.
Updergrove looking. 3 seconds on the clock. Here's Fazenbaker. Good if it goes. It does not. And the Indians will go to the bench with the first quarter with an 18-9 deficit between them and Highland. It's the Bulldogs and the Indians. You're watching the Mascoutah Indian Sports Network.
Need a morning cup of joe? Feeling tired after work and need an afternoon pick-me-up? Scoot on around to Scooter's Coffee to satisfy your caffeine needs. Scooter's Coffee, located across the street from Mascoutah High School, is serving up hot, fresh coffee, cold, refreshing drinks, and a variety of foods such as breakfast burritos and muffins. Scooter's is open Monday to Friday from 5:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. and on the weekends from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. Scoot on around today.
Indians Bulldogs. We get ready to start the second quarter. Glad to have you with us. Glad to have you with us here for this one, an MVC Mega Night tonight. Bulldogs currently have possession. That'll flip the arrow over to the Indians as they open up the second quarter. Indians trail by 9. Start of the second quarter. Bulldogs on the possession. Burker from the free throw line, in and out, and there will be a foul on the Indians there. With Burker trying to go up, she'll go to the line. Or excuse me, that is Clucker going to go to the line.
Another instance of the Indians panicking in the paint, not just on offense, but on defense. Instead of going back to the basics, they just try and get their hands up there. Don't stand still and move it around. It's just going to be called a foul almost every time.
2 good free throws there for Lyndon Clucker. 7:48 to go, second quarter here. Jordan Fritz going to bring it up the baseline here for the Indians. Looks over, finds Chanel Jones. Jones going to kick it out for Updergrove beyond the arc. Takes it, now trying to dribble. Can't get a good enough screen from Jones. Gives it back up for Baker, who lost the handle. Break here from Clucker, who gets it in for 2. Transition bucket there. Updergrove and Baker up the floor they come. 22-9, 7:17 to go. We're in the second. No foul called. Save. And the Indians keep it. Nice save by Young Walter, who's now got it in the corner. Finds Updergrove underneath the basket. 3 girls on her. Gets it off the back of the iron. The rebound goes to Highland. Down the floor comes Burker. Pulls up at the arc. Now they throw it around the arc. Kicks it out. Frey, pump fake, in, jumper, good. It bounced around. Highland starting to really put this thing, and get this thing away. And they are full court pressing the Indians here. Jones will take a 3 and bury it. Chanel Jones gets one for the Indians. And the Indians cut the lead in half. Bulldogs, quick offense. A look inside. We're going to have a foul. With 6:15 to go here in the second quarter. That one will be Jordan Fritz. Hayden Netter going to check in for the Indians here. She'll take Fritz off the floor. Fritz comes off the floor with 2 fouls. Basket doesn't go. Young Walter's going to get fouled from behind on the that'll be the second foul on Burker right there, who is immediately pulled off the floor. Burker she has 7 points. Updergrove just throws it away, but they're going to say it went off the hand of Sophie Schroeder before that. So Updergrove gets it in for Baker. Man defense here for the Bulldogs, which means that they are putting pressure on the Indians. Baker from right now comes over the left side. Hands it off for Eder. Eder back between the circles. Right wing for Updergrove. Updergrove dishes it across. Baker 3 off the iron. Doesn't go. Gets her own rebound. Throws up a 15-footer and puts it in.
That's the effort we need to see on the offense for the Indians, getting your own rebound and not getting those easy points for them.
Indians looking around. Here's a deep 3. Doesn't want to go for Schroeder. Updergrove picks up the rebound, swings it back across for Jones. Gives it back to Updergrove over on the right side. Updergrove dishes it over Young Walter in the corner. Back up for Eder. Eder cuts it back. Jones over to Baker. Baker now pulls it. Step back jumper off the side of the iron. Doesn't go. Young Walter on the offensive rebound's going to get blocked. And that's Kleibecker who picks up the rebound. 5:04 to go, second quarter. Indians trailing by 10, 24-14 Highland. Bulldogs looking around. Over to Schroeder. Now they send it to the corner for Ari Nanny. Ari Nanny, who puts this one in for two from the corner. Here's Fazenbaker, gets it over the timeline, lost the handle. Clydebecker get it, and she'll be fouled by Fazenbaker from behind. Second of the game for Fazenbaker. Indians have put up 3 here in the second quarter. Ball inbounded here, Peyton Frey. Sydney Kimmel's going to take out Chi-Chi Updergrove. 4:38 to go, second quarter. Nanny from the free throw line off the back iron, and the rebound's going to go all over the place. We're going to get, I believe, a jump ball that will favor the Indians.
Got to get your hands secured on the ball there. You know, the jump ball isn't a guaranteed thing. You want guaranteed points, guaranteed possession.
They get it down to Youngwelter on the baseline, and we're going to get another jump ball. This one, though, going to go back to Highland. Didn't see the possession arrow play a factor at all in the first quarter. We've seen it now used twice in a matter of seconds here in the second. Here's a 3-ball from the newly entered Maddie Hochman. Doesn't go. Hochman, a junior, shooting 19% from 3. Missed on that one. Fazenbaker back over across for Chanel Jones. Jones will get a screen by Eder, trying to get to the corner. Now finds an angle to the baseline. Can't get it, but she gets her own rebound. Back out Fazenbaker, wide open from 3. Back iron, rebound for Eder. Throws one up off the window. And a timeout taken by the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs leading by 10. 3:43 to go here in the first. It's only a 30-second timeout, so we're going to stay right here.
It's a good job by the Indians keeping pace, getting their own rebounds, and securing the edge. Great job by Riley Fazenbaker to get back out, make sure that Jones has a passing lane and able to get a good shot up. Just good opportunities that are being sprouted from this Indians offense, which hasn't seen much of that the whole season.
Indians trailing by 10 as the timeout expires. Neither team has left the huddle as the timeout expires. This place starting to fill up here on a Friday night in Mascoutah. Of course, the boys' game will follow the girls. Bulldogs with the ball, and this one going to be off the back of the iron. Good box out and rebound by Sydney Kimmel, but a whistle blown. We're going to have a foul. That's going to go against Chloe Gould. So Highland guilty of that foul. Updergrove will inbound the ball, finds Hayden Eder. Gets it over for Updergrove, back to Eder. Eder gets into the lane, gonna throw one up, and it just rattles around. Ball will go out of bounds. 3:19 to play.
Notably, Coach Hilgendorf and Coach Moore are not very happy with the calls. They haven't been happy all game with the calls they've been getting.
Swings it across. Bulldogs coming up. Quick offense that they have ran. They get underneath. Clucker misses on the ball. Eder with a rebound. She's got several of those tonight. Eder will cut now back between the circles. Gets it over to Updergrove. Updergrove with a pump fake. Now dishes it across for Kimmel. Sydney Kimmel, baseline, pulls up. Lost the handle on a pass looking for Youngwelter. They'll get it back to Updergrove, top of the circles. Updergrove trying to drive in, lost the handle, gets on it. They'll call the jump And the ball will stay with the Indians. 2:35 to go, second quarter. 26-16 Indians. Or Bulldogs, excuse me. Possession arrow goes back to Mascoutah. Here's Eder, who's a little bit too strong. Ari Nanny picks up the rebound for the Bulldogs. Looks underneath, gets it down for Schroeder. Ball goes out of bounds. They'll call that off of Updergrove. 2:22 to go. Jordan Fritz comes back into the game for the Indians, with the Indians trailing by 10. 26-16. Ball comes off. Now looking around. And now
Number 15, Buddy Baker of the Indians, home for the foul for third, team fourth.
Indians commit their fourth team foul.
At the line, Lyndon Clucker.
Lyndon Clucker will shoot her free throws, and the first one rims around, bounces out. Clucker coming into this game, 66% for the free throw line. Trying to extend Highland's lead. Can't do it. Bulldog Indians pick up the rebound, and they're going to go with the outlet pass, picked off by Peyton Frey, and he's going to get called for the double dribble with 2:05 to go.
Another bailout for the Indians.
Here's Fazenbaker. Sends it across for Updergrove. Now cuts it, looking around, gets it across, and off the hand of Young Welter and out of bounds. So not exactly what the Indians were looking for right there. They send it across. Frey looking around, gives it back for Fleming. Fleming goes down for Nanny, over down to the corner. They swing it down to the corner. Fleming, or Sophie Schroeder, gives it over to Fleming. Three-pointer doesn't go. And whistle blows on the rebound. And they're going to say jump, and it's going to stay with Highland.
Way too many turnovers and lost possessions in this first half. Enough turnovers for the whole game, so definitely something that's got to change.
1:28 to go. And I also do believe that this one's good for Clucker. And we have a timeout taken by Mascoutah with 1:24 to go. Indians will take a full timeout. We're going to take it with them. Indians trail by 12.
Need a morning cup of joe? Feeling tired after work and need an afternoon pick-me-up? Scoot on around to Scooter's Coffee to satisfy your caffeine needs. Scooter's Coffee, located across the street from Mascoutah High School, is serving up hot, fresh coffee, cold, refreshing drinks, and a variety of foods such as breakfast burritos and muffins. Scooter's is open Monday to Friday from 5:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. and on the weekends from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. Scoot on around today.
Indians trail the Bulldogs by 12, 28-16 Highland. Second quarter coming up on halftime. Glad to have you with us here on the Indian Sports Network. First basketball broadcast of the year. We're glad you're with us. We're learning some things, and some of you may have noticed I wasn't exactly on my game in the first quarter. I had the timer. I was trying to run a clock, as we have a confusion here. I was trying to run a timer. I've turned that off on my scoreboard just because it was a little too much. I will do my best to and we have a technical foul called against the Indian bench. Not sure who, they just said Indian bench, but a tech against the Indians bench, so that will be the 5th foul for the Indians and puts Highland in their bonus. Ari Nanny will shoot the free throws, misses on the first. They said it was an unsportsmanlike conduct. It was an unsportsmanlike conduct was the official call for the tech. Both technical free throws are no good. That's something the Indians couldn't really afford at this point in the game. And the Bulldogs will maintain possession of the basketball, up by 12, 28-16. With a minute 22 to go, clock ticking down. Coming down into the corner, Ari Nanny gets it up for Meredith Habing, who can't get the basket to go, ended up airbailing it. Young Welter picked up the rebound. Uptergrove going to come up, trying to get across the floor, behind the back with a dribble, now finds it over to Fazenbaker, who comes over between the circles. Fazenbaker looking around, trying to find somewhere to go, ends up crossing back over, looks underneath for an open Jones, but her shot is blocked by Sophie Schroeder. 45 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Out for Haley Ritz. They look underneath. Back out. And now a drive for Meredith Habing. They look to the corner for Ari Nanny. Schroeder kicks it to the corner for Ritz. Back out to Schroeder. Schroeder down the line. 3-ball here. Back iron and no good from Habing, and now the Indians turn it over. And Sophie Fleming able to get the 2 points. Indians trailing by 14. 10 seconds to go. Fazenbaker gets it to Uptergrove. Uptergrove gets it to, as they get it over to Jones, and that one doesn't go, and that's going to end the first half here in Mascoutah. At the half, it's the Indians and the Bulldogs. The Indians with a 14-point lead as they lead Mascoutah 30-16. Entertaining half of basketball that just did not go the Indians' way for the most part. So with that being said, we will step aside, and the Indians' halftime continues after this on the Indian Sports Network. to get the second half underway as the Indians and the Bulldogs just about set to go. 30-16 the halftime score. It was a tough half for the Indians. Bulldogs picked it up late in the half. Second quarter specifically was very productive for the Bulldog offense, and we welcome you back inside MHS Gymnasium alongside Hudson Huber. Owen Dressler with you. And the Indians, Hudson, have got to get an offense running, and they've got to stop turning the ball over.
Exactly. At the beginning of the game, it seemed like the Indians had a solid defense going. They were stopping everything outside of the arc, but the paint has just been a struggle the whole half. So, yes, less turnovers and better defense production.
Indians will start the half with the ball. And they're moving it around here early. Updergrove looking, now gets to the corner. Eder trying to lob it in. Young Welter going to get fouled from behind 15 seconds in. Put that one on Paige Kleibecker. Her second of the night. They find Fritz, who throws one up, doesn't go. Rebound Bulldogs. Back into the corner, swing it. Comes down low to the left, to the near corner. Underneath, and a look for Fleming, and no foul, no call there. Burker gonna go for three, it goes off the iron. And the Indians will just let it roll out of bounds. 7:18 to go, quarter number 3. Hayden Eder will inbound the ball. The Indians will move back from left to right. And they will, and now the Indians throw it away, and they'll say it was tipped out, though the Bulldogs got a hand on it, so they'll stay with the Indians here.
It's not a smart pass there.
Fritz made her defender miss and still couldn't bury the bucket. Down low into the corner, Burker looks inside, found Fleming wide open. Now they kick it out. Burker, step back three, airballed. Good box out by Fazenbaker, got the rebound for the Indians, and now here comes Eder, sends it across for Fritz. Fritz to Updergrove. Updergrove with a jumper, front of the rim, doesn't go, gets it back, puts it up for two. First blood of the second half goes to the Indians, who cut the lead to 12. Indians come back out. Here's a three look, and it's good for Fleming.
Quick fire back by the Bulldogs offense. Just looks like they're just getting started in this second half.
Updergrove gonna get denied by Kleibecker down in the paint. Indians certainly hurting without Avery Bayman. This one wide open to the baseline, but missing the bucket is Schroeder, and then she gets a second chance. Bulldogs will have a third chance here after another missed basket. Burker weaves in through, cuts to the lane, doesn't get it. Ball's loose on the floor. Jump ball going to be called. Arrow belongs to Highland.
Just have to be stronger with the ball. When you get that rebound, you got to secure it. It gets tipped out very easily, and it's been very apparent in this game so far.
Third quarter, Burker with a three, in and out. Ball's going to go off of Highland out of bounds, and the Indians will get it back with 5:45 to go in the third. Eder looking for someone to go. It's going to go for the lob out to Updergrove. Gets Young Welter. Fritz trying for the drive inside. Can't get it to go. Rebound Fritz. Whistle blows. Foul called. Fritz to the line.
Number 22, Sophia
Schroeder called for that foul.
22.
Second of the quarter for the Bulldogs. Schroeder, her first of the night. Fritz nails the first free throw.
Taking number 5, Lindsay Tucker from Bulldogs going in for the Indians. Number 23, Chanel Jones.
Second free throw doesn't go. The Indians got the offensive rebound, couldn't put it back in. Bulldogs coming down the floor, and they just basically handed it to Jordan Fritz, who gets the Indians back up, then threw it away. Up the floor comes Fleming, and now we have another whistle, and they're going to call a travel. So back and forth we go with turnovers. 5:15 to go in the third quarter.
Another not very smart pass by the Indians. You just got to watch your surroundings, watch who's down there, and, count up who's where.
Baker trying to get across the timeline, really struggling. Indians call the timeout. 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here.
So Owen still struggling with turnovers and still struggling on defense. What else does the half have in store for us?
I don't know, but something has got to give. The Indians right now really struggling in the turnover battle. We've seen a lot, though, over the last couple seconds on both sides, and Indians are now down to 2 timeouts in the game with nearly 15 minutes with 13 minutes to go in the game. It is not necessarily looking all that great at the moment for the Tribe. They get it out to Baker, and this time, though, able to get it across the timeline without much issue. Amon gives her a screen. The Bulldogs play switch. Baker able to hand it off for Jones. Jones trying to fight back in. Gets it out. Baker's got to look from 3. Buries it! And the Indians cut the lead down 33-22. Kick it out. 3-ball here. Chloe Gould back of the iron. Doesn't go. Nice rebound there by Chanel Jones. And able to clear some space. Jones gets it. Now cuts back. Gives it up to Young Walter. Gets it back. Baker deep left side. Now trying to drive. Gets it out for Jones. Jones from 3. Off the back of the rim. Doesn't go. Rebound for Fritz, who gets one from the arc. Indians now down by 9. 33-24. Here's a 3. And that one goes. Sophie Schroeder. And a response for the Bulldogs. So for every step forward here for the Indians, 2 steps back as the Bulldogs respond. Now they go out of bounds to Jones, and the Indians will turn it over again. Updergrove into the game to replace Fritz.
Had the offense going for a second, then everything went sideways. Still got to get that defense going.
We had one of the refs forget whose ball it was, but everything sorted out. Highland does have the ball. A look underneath, and the ball, that one doesn't go for Lyndon Clucker, the freshman. Updergrove gets it back. Full court press here. Updergrove double teamed, and it's nearly stolen away, but a foul is called. That'll be a break for the Indians there. They're going to call that foul on Frey. Third of the quarter for the Bulldogs. 3:25 to go in the third quarter. Jones going to bring it right wing. Lost the handle on it. Picked up. Bulldogs trying. Indians, though, able to get it away. They get it to Young Walter. It goes out of bounds. It stays with the Indians. Clucker couldn't handle it on a scramble. Baker able to get it. Now finds Schroeder ahead, and she's got all the room in the world in front of her and buries that one for 2. (38-24).
they don't fix that turnover margin soon, this game looks to be over. They are 14 points behind, but it is definitely recoverable. We saw that little spurt of their offense, a little earlier in the quarter, but it's died down since. So if they can get that going and they can stop those turnovers, I think we have a game, ladies and gentlemen.
One thing the Indians have done better here in the third, they have not committed a foul. Updergrove had a little trouble with the pass, recovers, trying to create some space, gets it over to Fritz, down to the baseline, can't get a shot off, missed it. It was blocked. And now up the floor come Highland. It is Chloe Gould. Gould gives it up, looks inside. Clucker back out for Gould. Gould looks in, hook shot, basket, good.
You did mention not having fouls. I'm sure, Owen, as a coach, I would rather have a few fouls if we get something going, like no turnovers on offense. That's just really like you can't score any points on defense.
Faison Baker for three, and she airballed it.
You can't score any points on defense, so you got to get all your points from offense.
Hayden Etter in for the Indians. Paige Kleibecker in for the Bulldogs. 2:01 to play here in the third. Bulldogs ahead, 40-24. Kleibecker inside, 2 on her. Gets it to Ari Nanny, who takes the jump stop from the block. And now down the floor comes Etter, able to keep it in bounds. No, they say double dribble. 40-24 with a minute 43 to go. They'll check Jordan Berker back into the game for Highland.
I'm interested to see how many turnovers we already have from the Indians tonight, Owen.
40-24, Highland leads. 1:35 to go. Bulldogs with the ball. Berker, left wing, now gets it up for Kleibecker out between the circles. Kleibecker gonna hand it off for Gould. Looks inside, Kleibecker takes the dribble, lost it. Looked like it might have gone off somebody's foot. Emma Amon gonna bring it down the floor for the Indians. Gets into the lane, and she's going to, we're gonna have a jump ball, which will stay with the Indians. Not sure what constituted that. Etter looking, somebody gets it out for Updergrove, who's going to take it and shoot it right away. Missed the basket to the right iron. Ari Nanny going to get up the floor, the freshman for the Bulldogs. Now to the corner, Chloe Gould goes in, baseline, airballs the layup. Going to have a foul down, that'll on the Bulldogs. The Indians will get the ball back. They're going to call that one on Lyndon Clucker.
Very few possessions for the Indians on offense that haven't resulted in a turnover happening in the second half.
So we'll see Chanel Jones and Avery Youngwelter will come into the game. Amon and Updergrove head off.
I'll say one thing about Jones. Her ball security is very good. Whenever, okay.
Well, spoke too soon, but she's able to, she keeps possession, and now Faison Baker's going to get called for a travel.
Yeah, a bit too soon on my call there, Owen.
Just a bit. Here's Kleibecker out, gets it out for Schroeder, who misses on the deep shot. They get it over to Faison Baker, who's going to bring it up over on the left side. Faison Baker needing help, gets it in for nobody as Kleibecker's there for the pass. 33 seconds to go in the third quarter. Indians trail 40-24. Shot here from Berker, that one's good. And it's 42-24 now. Now we'll look down low. Faison Baker now between the circles. Trying to get some help, finds an angle, gets it out for Etter. Etter takes the three, air ball. Clybecker coming up. 3 seconds to go. Clucker is going to lay one in, and time will expire, and that takes us to the end of the third. It's the end of 3, and it is a 20-point game. Highland with the lead over the Indians, 44-24. It's the Indian Sports Network. We're back in a moment.
Do you ever find yourself not wanting to cook tonight? Well, lucky for you, Mascoutah offers so many good food options such as Spuds. Spuds is a locally owned restaurant that serves the biggest and best baked potatoes that you will ever try. They also serve a variety of paninis, salads, soups, and so much more. Spuds is located in downtown Mascoutah, and they are open Monday through Friday from 10:30 to 8 p.m., Saturday 11 to 8, and Sunday 11 to 2. So the next time you're craving a potato, make sure you come down to Spuds.
Indians, Bulldogs, as we get ready for the final 8 minutes of the game. 44-24, Indians have the lead. Or Indians trail the Bulldogs, excuse me. Indians will trot out everybody in their starting lineup except Jordan Fritz. They'll put Chanel Jones out there in place. Bulldogs with the possession to begin the half, and this shot bounces up and over the back of the net. And the Indians will get the ball back. 5 seconds gone, fourth quarter. Fazenbaker going to bring it up the floor. Looking for somewhere to go with it. Fazenbaker, double teamed, finds Updergrove over the corner, goes around, travels, took a step.
Nothing new in the fourth quarter as far as the offense goes for the Indians.
Sophie Schroeder takes a step back and then let this one go. Doesn't go. Ball comes loose on a rebound. Hayden Netter picks it up, gets it to Updergrove. And now the ball comes scrambling. Updergrove picks it up, finds Young Welter. Young Welter to the corner for Jones. Jones for three. Top of the basketboard, doesn't go. Rebound Highland and Burker. Able to find Clucker down to the paint, spinning through the lane, but travels.
If I'm Coach Moore here, and I've taken the last time out, you gotta look for that double team. It happens very often on the other side of the court.
Indians with 2 timeouts remaining. Here's Schroeder, and we're gonna have a foul called.
I'd also like to add, get rid of the sloppy passing and the forced fouls there.
It's the first foul of the second half on the Indians. First free throw, in and out for Sophie Schroeder. Jordan Fritz will come into the game. Chi-Chi Updergrove will leave. And Fritz is going to have to go one-on-one with Clybecker. Second free throw, doesn't go. Jordan Fritz looking away, throws it away, didn't have a good angle. Not a great pass at all, but there's Eder to steal it back and then lose it again as Jordan Burker steals it out of her hands. She'll throw one up for Clucker, who's able to put it in transition. And the Bulldogs lead by 22. Tough night for the Indians. They just have not had anything going. 46-24. And that one goes out of bounds. Back to the Bulldogs goes the basketball. And the Bulldogs will send 4 off, and Jordan Burker will be all that remains on the floor for the Bulldogs. Chanel Jones comes off the floor.
Tough night for the Indians, but I'd also like to add it was a good, well-played game by the Bulldogs so far.
Juliana Hart into the game for the first time. She replaced Jones. This one thrown up and good for Burker. Jordan Burker, who has 11 points on the night. Came into this game averaging 14. Not too far off that mark with a lot of time left, 6 minutes. Here's Fritz. Young Welter now. Dribbling, lost the handle on it. Down to the floor goes Clucker to get it back for Burker. Or excuse me, that's Peyton Frey. Frey gives it over to Burker. Back over for Ari Nanny. Back to Frey. Down into the corner for Meredith Having. Having gets it to Frey, and her layup comes off the rim and falls down. Eder back the other way for the Indians. Throws one up, doesn't go. Young Walter on the rebound. Throws this one up off the glass. That one doesn't go, and a foul is called. They're gonna get Meredith Having for that call. Eddie Holtzman into the game. Ari Nanny gonna bring the ball up the floor. Eder on her. They swing it across. Now they go down to the corner for Hookman. Here is Gould trying to drive, throws one up, and it doesn't go off the back of the window, and now a foul called again to the Bulldogs. Ari Nanny, number 42, called for that foul. First of the game for Nanny, second of the game. Second of the quarter for the Bulldogs. Here's Riley Fazenbaker coming in, and the Indians need points, which is why Fazenbaker's in the game. She's got 4 fouls, but she is in the game because the Indians need points, and she's their best opportunity for that right now. Currently sitting with 10. Updergrove over to Eder. Indians are down by 24. 4:38 to go. We're in the fourth. Sends this one over. Eder dishes it out. Fazenbaker for 3 with an air ball. That one not a great shot there. Here's Peyton Frey coming back. Finds Nanny underneath. Takes the basket and finds the net. And that is half 100 for the Bulldogs. They lead by 26.
Fazenbaker looking really tired out there.
Foul called. Yeah, it's been a while since she's been off the floor.
Probably not in the realm to take a timeout for Coach Moore. But even with the foul, Coach Moore doesn't decide to send in anybody for Riley Fazenbaker.
Yeah, 4 fouls, but she's the best opportunity to score for the Indians right now. And there's nowhere to go. Amon over to Updergrove. Updergrove going to drive in, throws it up, and she'll draw the foul. And she'll be able to go to the line here.
13, Meredith Having of the Bulldogs, called for the foul. Her second, team fourth. 14, Updergrove on the line, shooting 2.
Foul went to Meredith Having. Second of the game for her. Updergrove's free throw not going to go. 26-point game.
Perhaps the Indians' next practice should shift their focus to more passing and less turnovers, so that they can improve. Even though their next game is tomorrow, and then after that is Monday.
Here come the Bulldogs, up 25. Indians, you mentioned there, Hudson. The Indians will play tomorrow, 10 a.m. in Columbia.
It'll be a late night, and then
a quick turnaround.
Yep, 13
Bit of
hours
a-
later,
yeah.
you'll play Columbia.
Bit of a drive to Columbia as well. Ari Nanny will take this one, long 2. Doesn't go, though, off the front of the iron, and now Riley Fazenbaker going to bring it up the floor. Baker trying to get an angle. She'll draw the foul. Nevaeh Jordan called for that foul. She's fresh into the game. Puts the Indians in their bonus. 50-25. Baker buries that free throw. Indians are a little confused about subs. Chichi Updegrove is out. Amari Kimbrough checks into the game for the Indians. Chanel Jones still waiting to check in. She is checking in for Baker, who will make both of her free throws and now come off. As Chanel Jones will come in. So Baker finally getting that rest that we talked about, that it looks like she so desperately needed. 50-27, 3:25 remaining in the game. Meredith Having gets it over to Ari Nanny. Nanny sends it across, back to Having. Now they'll give it up for Maddie Holkman. Having dives down low, look underneath. Here's Nevaeh Jordan. They swing it back around for Nanny. Nanny back over, Holtzman doesn't get it to go. Kimbrough falling to the ground, and they're going to call her for a travel. 3 minutes to play. Gabrielle Blackburn will check into the game. She's going to send off Avery Youngwalter. And the Bulldogs still with possession. Nanny dribbling along the perimeter of the three-point line. Gets it across over to Nevaeh Jordan. Nevaeh Jordan going to cut to the lane. Can't get the bucket. Sydney Kimmel into the game is going to get the rebound. Ball gets thrown back away. Nanny has it. And she'll bring it back out. Sends it over between the circles. Kicks it across for Ari Nanny. Back out for Nevaeh Jordan. And Jordan will get it to Nanny, who travels and puts the ball back in the hands of the Indians here. Don't forget, following this game, we will have coverage of the boys as the boys basketball team, as they will take on the Highland Bulldogs in an MVC rivalry. Here's Kimbrough, three-pointer blocked. Ball goes out of bounds, stays with the Indians. 2:17 to go. Jada McCoo, Corey Harris, and the Indians will take on the Bulldogs following this game. Emma Amon over to Amari Kimbrough. Kimbrough and the Indians can't hold it. Goes back to the Indians. Here come the Bulldogs once again. They get it out for Nevaeh Jordan. They'll let Habing take a three, and she buries it. And the lead is 26, 53-27, a minute 42 to go. First 3 points of the night for Holkman. Indians will take a timeout. It is a full timeout. We're going to take it right alongside. We'll take it right alongside. We're back in just a moment on the Indian Sports Network.
From the auditorium, where we show the passion and hard work of our students, to the classrooms, where our faculty dedicate themselves to shaping the next generation of scientists and engineers. From the weight room, where we inspire our students to be a better version of themselves, to the courts and fields where history is made and memories are saved. From representing our school to just being a part of the community, we are Mascoutah, the high school of choice.
53-27. Indians trail the Bulldogs here in this fourth quarter. Been a tough night for the Indians. They have really struggled offensively. Turnovers have not been their friend either. As Chichi Upter Grove can't corral the basketball. Nevaeh Jordan able to get it out of there for the Bulldogs. Under 90 seconds to go in the game. Jordan has it left wing, gives it up for Meredith Having. Having sends it across. Now Ari Nanny on the far right side. Back out for Maddie Hochman, whose three-pointer goes off the front of the rim. 1:10 to go here in the fourth. Jordan over to Hochman. Holtzman dishes it over. Three-pointer for Nanny, buried. And the lead is 29 with 52 seconds to go. Kayla Thomas fresh into the game, the senior. First appearance in the game. Now Nevaeh Jordan going to come back on the turnover, and she'll get a bucket. And that is now a 31-point deficit. 33 seconds to go. Sydney Kimmel over to Thomas. Here is Avery Stugner, the freshman. Now Blackburn will double dribble. Bulldogs will take it back with a running clock with a 31-point lead.
At this point, these are just stat-boosting points.
And the Indians
backups
still kind of playing in their face defense, but I'd imagine that Nanny is just going to dribble this thing out, and that will do it. The Indians fall to the Bulldogs at home by a final of 58-27. Tough night tonight in Mascoutah as the Indians can't quite get it done. They fall to Highland big time tonight, 58-27.
Up next for the Mascoutah Indians girls basketball, tomorrow they face Columbia High School, looking really well, starting off their season 4-1. They've only lost to a 5-0 team, so it's going to be a very, very tough matchup for them tomorrow. And then coming up that following Monday is Jersey. They are 1-2 in their games. Maybe a little break from their tough components. So a stacked weekend for girls basketball. Some things they need to work on. Definitely their turnovers. Definitely their passing. Their passing looked really sloppy and it wasn't coordinated or whatever. Watching for those double teams. They just can't seem to get out of those double teams. Just a few things that the girls basketball needs to work on, and maybe just think over, have like over a night's sleep, and hopefully they can improve by tomorrow, or else it's going to be a blood-shedding game tomorrow.
So a tough one tonight for the Indians as the Bulldogs and the Indians struggle on the home floor tonight. Bulldogs and the Indians, that's going to do it for our girls broadcast. Don't forget, though, to come up immediately following the conclusion of this broadcast, we will begin our pregame show for the boys. We will be back in just a moment. Boys pregame starts next on the Indian Sports Network.